Get out of the kitchen right now.
Hello, everyone. This is Chef Venting with another episode. Today, we're gonna tackle one question. I want to have a quick discussion about something that I've talked with my friends and I talked about with other people, and it's basically, is it a fad or is it not a fad? But the question is, do people want to eat healthy? Yes or no? That is it. That's the whole question right there. I think it is. I don't want to say it's a complicated question, but I'm just gonna give you. This is kind of a discussion, my opinion, and I guess from my experience over the last 20 years or so, and possibly the last 10 years, this eating healthy has been very strong as far as like a philosophy and just being pushed by companies and all that. Now we have meatless burgers and we have all these companies that are basically fighting that whole unhealthy food. But I have two things I'm gonna say about this, at least to start. Do people want to eat healthy? Yes or no? And I say yes and no. Yes, people do want to eat healthy, and a lot of it is they don't want to eat straight out healthy, in a sense. For the most part, they don't want to necessarily go to a place that is just basically marketing unhealthy food, even though there are a few places that they do their money on marketing unhealthy foods, and they do very well. But overall majority of people want to go to a place that is probably marketing healthy food, but that doesn't mean they're going to eat healthy food, if that makes any sense. So my restaurant, I've always had options for healthy food, vegan options, and just your normal your normal options that might be a little bit heavier in calories, a little heavier in fat, a little heavier in sugar, but not as many restaurants. And again, I always give people the options. You can go to my restaurant, and if you want to eat healthy, there is plenty of options to eat healthy. If you want to eat and go kind of, gluttony style, you could. There's not as many, but there's the option. I think people, they appreciate that in a sense. They go to a place that they know that they have healthy options. But what I've noticed is those healthy options don't get picked nearly as much as the unhealthy, not even unhealthy, the less healthier, because I think all of my food, I'm I guess a little biased, all of the food, for the most part, it is very healthy. I don't do anything processed. Everything is prepared in the restaurant. From the sauces, everything is prepared in my restaurant. So I don't buy any processed foods. I don't cook stuff in extra fat or butter if I don't, if it's not part of the dish, it's not gonna get that extra, fat or butter or any of that sort. But that healthy option usually gets passed on 9 out of 10 times. Even the vegan people, they'll ask me if I can have, they'll ask me, can I make this dish vegan, which is a dish that is higher maybe in fat, and this can take this, and it's just like, well, I'm offering you a very great vegan option, but I guess it's too healthy. So this is my experience, right? My main point is, in the last how many years, one of the most popular restaurants in the country has been the Cheesecake Factory. The Cheesecake Factory, which I think is one of the, far as, if it's one of the worst restaurants as far as like their offering. They basically follow a simple formula. Their formula is fried food or heavy on fat food, heavy on sugar, and heavy on the sodium. Those three things are the Cheesecake Factory formula. If you look at their menu, and I'm telling you right now, if you go and look at their menu, 9 out of 10 items on their menu are gonna have either all three or very heavy on one or two of the other of the three things. You can try to prove me wrong. I mean, if for some reason you find one and two, that doesn't count. Their menu is huge, first of all, and if you have that many items in that menu that are following that formula, you know that they are just basically they made the easy formula. It's like not even trying. It's almost like anybody can do that and put a lot of money into marketing, and boom, you're gonna have a popular restaurant. It's always gonna be much harder, almost, to try to offer a great product, a healthy product, and offer, and almost, even if you market it great, it's just a little bit more difficult because people, I don't understand. I understand people like to go out and they like to splurge. So part of the splurging thing is to go out and, oh, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna have that big steak with that steak that it has with that nice fatty grilled caps on it or seared caps. It's just, that's part of the whole thing of you going out. Sometimes many people go out and that's when they eat that stuff. But at the same time, people are always blaming restaurants for not offering healthy options. But when restaurants offer healthy options, people almost skip on those, even if they're delicious. People don't, trust me, one of my favorite dishes in my restaurant was a vegetarian dish that I made. And don't get me wrong, we have a vegetarian lasagna now that sells very well. I sell out of it basically every week. Even now at the Slow, we sell out of it. And I know most people that are getting it are not vegetarian. It's just a really good dish. But when we first opened, our dishes that sold were not the vegetarian. I would have a vegetarian, and one of my favorite dishes was the orange and chili glazed cauliflower over sesame ginger soba noodle salad. And I think it sounded well. I mean, it sounded like a good dish. And I tried it, and I tried it like one day. It was the end of the night. We had an extra dish up there. One of my guys made the dish extra. I had the whole dish, and I thought this was like one of my favorite dishes that I've ever had. And I'm not trying to like toot my own horn or anything, but it was a really nice dish. Yes, it was fried, so it technically was not the healthiest dish, but it was, the only thing unhealthy about the dish was that it was fried. The cauliflower, the soba noodles, the dressing, everything was, the soba noodles came with vegetables, and it was lightly tossed in a dressing. It was a really, really nice dish. It was sweet, but the sweetness came from fresh squeezed orange juice. And it was like it was a great balance. But you understand, it took a while. People passed up on that dish for a while. And then once they tried it, it was almost about the time that I was about to change it that this dish started picking up tremendously. And then I had to change it eventually because the cauliflower price went up so high. But I had that dish on the menu for about 2.5 months when cauliflower was in season, and it was at the best, and it was a good price for me, and I was able to give it at a good price, and people were passing up on it. And as soon as a couple of people had it, and I guess at a word of mouth, the dish started selling, like really selling. Then the cauliflower price like quadrupled, and I had to get rid of it. So it was just like very irritating things. The healthy dishes don't ever move as quickly as the world says that they want healthy dishes on a restaurant, if that makes any sense. That is my argument. That is my, you tell me from your experiences or your opinion, what do you think? Again, I think most of these chain restaurants, they cheat. They use that formula of high fat, high sugar, high sodium, and they sprinkle that into their menu, and people bodies crave those three things, and dishes taste good, but they really don't taste good. It's just you feeding the cravings your body has. So I'm done with this conversation for today. If you guys want to give me a comment, give it to me. I will follow up, definitely. All right, guys? Be safe. Enjoy the weekend, and don't forget to vote. About I stay away from politics. Let's just say that. At least in the channel. Be safe.
Get out of the kitchen right now.